question with a question. Why do you want a podcast? Do you want it to is it just for income earning? Because let's just be real. My pops can attest to this. No. We all might. We all might. Me and Pops, man, we always said that we started this podcast for service. To be able to serve our black community by providing a platform that allows any black man that has a story to come tell their story without feeling judged, without feeling ridiculed, without feeling, like they can't. You know what I'm saying? Now, if profit, monetary gains, and all that comes with that, then so be it. But we still wanted to make sure that we had the mentality of service first. You know what I'm saying? And then we go from there. Now, as we done got into it and we get little emails here and there, little DMs from different organizations and stuff, yeah, money would be nice because it is work that we doing, you know what I'm saying, putting into this. So after about a year of service, we was like, okay, let's see how we can monetize the service. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the advertisements came in at. I've been pushing that hard because Lord knows, not if, but when we do get big, I don't want nobody to be like, well, y'all ain't helping the little folks out no more. Y'all done got too big. Well, we didn't come here to stay here. You know what I'm saying? So I push so hard, and in all of next year, I'm gonna do the same thing. Just keep pushing our advertising because I did some research. If you look at, I love 101.1, love 92Q, love any of the radio stations in the city. If you ask them about what their pricing is for advertising on their platform, they're gonna bust your head. I done tried it. They're gonna bust your head. We back, live, man, live and direct. Man, it's a new year, man. It's a new year.
2024, man.
Yeah, it's a new year, man. Yeah. Super excited. New year, same podcast, man. Same time, same station, man. Y'all know how we rock. Y'all know our lingo. Y'all know our spiel. The number one podcast of 2023. So y'all know we coming back for it in 2024, man. Shout out to the Nashville scene.
Yeah, man.
Only black father and son podcast in Nashville, Tennessee. If you ain't listening to us yet, something's wrong with you. Tap in. We are the BMVT podcast, welcoming you guys into the new year, man. I'm excited. You too.
Yeah,
deuces.
Man. I'm glad.
Y'all know how we rock, man.
Glad to be here,
YouTube channel. Super excited to be a part of you guys' new week, man. Let's get into it, man. We got a good guest on today, man. He is a man of many hats, connected anywhere and everywhere in the city and beyond. He's inspired me, man, and I hope with our platform we can inspire him with his.
Yes, sir.
Man, presenting to some, introducing to others. My good friend, good brother, Mr. Rob Savage. Big dog, how you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, man. That was a great introduction.
Man, you know what? It sounds like he done done that before.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Couple of 100-something episodes in, you feel me? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah, man. Finna get into it, man. We got my guy Rob, man, on the show. And again, man, just bringing him to the platform. I was inspired, man, by what he do. You know, by what he do, how he carries himself in the city, man. Upstanding young brother. And let's get into what you do, man. Talk to Nashville about who you are, your connections with the city, man, your family, your siblings, relationships with mom and pops, man. Let's get into that candid conversation.
Okay. Well, look, man. Like I said, my name is Robert Savage. I'm from Nashville. I'm 35. Born and raised. I've lived in other cities because of football, but Nashville's home. I grew up in East Nashville, or you can call it Northeast Nashville.
Out east.
I
mean, we had about 4 or 5 straight out east.
Out east, man.
You know.
Most there, man. Punkwood, Chesapeake area.
Yes, sir.
Went to Whites Creek. You know what I mean? Sorry y'all didn't, but
right.
Went to the creek and then going to junior college in Arizona.
Okay.
So my grades went all that good coming out of the creek, but I had the athletic ability and ended up transferring to TSU. And,
Big Blue. Now
Big Blue.
I can relate.
Oh yeah.
I graduated from the Blue.
Man. What year is it?
95.
95. Okay.
I know they told my age then. That's
I was
that big.
I was in the first grade.
I know they told my age then. If you didn't see it in the house, that really told it.
Right. Man, that was the first grade. My sister came out of White Creek in 94.
Look, he got the vein in his face.
My sister came out, my brother came out in 93 out of White Creek. Sister came out White Street in 94.
Yeah.
He said college in 95.
Yeah.
Look, and I was just born in 95.
Yeah. He
Yeah, you actually 1 year younger than my nephew. He was born 96, my sister's son. Okay.
It's funny, man.
Life is funny like
Yeah.
that, man.
Yeah, it is.
Man, but nah, man, it's funny, man. We sitting here laughing about it, man. Whether you young or you old, time moves quick.
Man,
That's
time
one
moves
thing for
quick.
sure.
And
Time moves quick, man.
And we was talking about this, Mike, you right, time moves quick because I was just telling my uncle today, man, of course I'm from LaGrange, but I've been traveling that highway, man, for 42 years, dude. And I'm like, wow, I had to think back, sit back and think, wow. But saying all that to say, when I came to Nashville, what you said, it was a small city, but it had a home like a homely feel.
Right.
But we lost that, man. So go ahead and elaborate a little bit on that, man.
So when I always say the small big town. Man.
Yeah, small big town. Right.
When I grew up, Nashville was based off of. We talk about the '90s. Then it was based. This was before the Titans, before the Predators. Nashville was based off of Come Together Day, the event they used to have here.
Yes.
And then what high school you was at. So we joked. That's why I joked about the whole White Street thing. But that really meant something here in the city. Even outside of the TSU aspect, if you went to, and Nashville always been that way. Even going back to the '60s, you had the 4 prominent black schools. We had our own version. You had White Street, Pearl, Stratford, Maplewood. Those 4 prominent black schools.
Yes.
I guess we had other schools like Hunters Lane and Antioch, but they mixed.
Right.
But the 4 core was that, and we knew, it used to be a part of the time where if I see you out at the mall or something, and I find out you went to Maplewood, I already know what kind of character you got.
Exactly.
That's how small it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if Nashville still got that. You know, I know that gentrification has came in, cost of living is high, people live in the outskirts, and also just that whole high school camaraderie is not even there no more like that.
Right.
It was even down to the middle school when I was here. You won't park, this middle school I went to, like we was winning everything, and it meant something. But it still had that small town, big vibe.
Yeah.
But I think what changed things is really, the Titans did change things, but it's not the main thing. I think what really changed it was different kind of money came into the city. Nashville's always been the core. It was the music, and that was the big rollers here. And even before my dad's time, Nashville, the Mafia had a big play in Nashville. A lot of people don't know that. Al Capone, he had a lot of stuff here in Nashville. It wasn't in Chicago.
Wow.
So you had the bootlegging money, all that other stuff was
I didn't
here.
know that.
That explains something. I work for, I don't want to tell where I work at.
I got you.
But I work at a place where we go underground sometime to do work.
Right.
And it's a whole bunch of underground tunnels in Nashville.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of them, like you can live underground Nashville, downtown.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Yeah, you can live down
Look at the proximity of Nashville where it is in the country. All the interstates come through here. So like it was real prominent.
That makes sense now.
On that.
Yeah.
I'm a big history buff. So
Yeah.
That's how you know money always been flowing through here. Did y'all know prostitution was legal here first before Vegas?
Wow.
So during the Civil War, a little bit after the Civil War, the soldiers was always trying to find a little fix after they get done war. They trying to find some women.
Absolutely.
So Nashville was that place. They would ride down the Cumberland. You know, nobody had no horses like that.
Right.
They ride down the Cumberland River. Nashville was that spot. But the reason why it changed because it was like a syphilis STD epidemic that happened, and the government had at the time just shipped all those women, we won't call it women, up the river to Louisville. Louisville's people said, we don't want them here either. So they shipped them up to Ohio.
Wow.
Oh, man,
And
come
Cincinnati
on, man.
didn't want them either. So
Really?
at the time, Al Capone and them was starting to get Vegas cranked up. You know, Vegas wasn't always Vegas. Like, it was just a desert.
Right, that's right.
So when that stuff getting rolling, Al Capone and others started gathering up those same women who started here in Nashville first and took them to Vegas, and that's why it became like the Sin City with the sex on top of the gambling.
Come on, man.
They started here.
Wow.
Man. It was crazy.
Wow.
We just didn't want that here at the time. Well, they didn't want it here at the time. We wasn't here, but
Wow.
right. And then the music part came in. But what changed things is the money. Nashville started getting more looked at. Okay, yeah, it's country, but it's some untouched land here. There's a lot of land, a central location. Weather ain't too bad in a sense. So here come the Titans. Here come the Predators. And I always say, if it was the reason why Mount Juliet, y'all, is what it is because of the Titans. If, you know, I know you say you were born in '95, so you might not, but your dad might remember this. You remember Mount Juliet used to be, you know how we look at, I don't know how y'all think about Lebanon, but we used to look at Mount, it was the same. But
I
now,
graduated from Cumberland.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he right, Mount Juliet,
Yeah.
he like a
little
country town, like a little country town. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Just a
Yeah,
town.
Right.
yeah,
And we
yeah,
kind of still
yeah.
look at Lebanon that way, but we look at Mount Juliet
Yes.
like it's Brentwood.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It
we
didn't-
do.
Right.
It didn't
Yeah, we
switch.
do.
That's because
Yeah.
the Titans and the Predators did that. Cause like a lot of the country people live in the country music stars live in Brentwood, and some of them just didn't want some of the Titans living in the neighborhoods. It's young blacks and whites that's reckless with their money. So Mount Juliet became like a new little home for them, and they kind of just blew it up to what it is now.
Wow.
And some of them live in Hinsville too, but that's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
had money. But
Right.
so you have that aspect, and I'm seeing this. Like I'm that perfect age, bro, where I got to grow up and see what your dad seen and what you seen.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
About
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like
You kind of like a tweener.
Tweener. Yeah.
I always tell
Yeah,
people
yeah.
because I'm an 80s baby, so like we seen that last tail end of what he had to see, and then we transitioned to what we're seeing now.
Absolutely.
Like I came
So
in
true.
cell phones. That was a luxury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The Beatles
for
was
sure.
kind of fading out, and then when cell phones did come out, I don't know if you remember this or not, but it was limited on how many texts you can even do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You had like 15 characters.
What data uses or something? Yeah, that
all
was
that.
high.
You gotta
yeah.
wait till after 6 to get
Yeah.
free. Like all that stuff. All that
That's
stuff.
right.
You know what I'm saying? People don't understand. iPhone wasn't even out when I was in high school at all. It didn't come out till I got out of high school.
Yeah. For
Like
sure.
08, I think. I came out of high school 07. So my whole time it was all the flip phones and no kids.
Yeah.
So it was all kind of like primitive, you know, compared to now. But so that's that aspect. And then I don't know if y'all realize it, but Nashville's always been like outside of the professional sports, it's been a sports town when it comes to football and basketball. We take a lot of pride in that.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look at the 90s, we had a lot of NBA players come out of Nashville in the basketball in the 90s. Ron Mercer, David Vaughn. Yeah, you know, David Vaughn was the number one player in the nation.
David Vaughn, yeah, I remember him.
Corey Brewer.
Corey
my
Brewer.
favorite one.
That's us the coast of my time frame.
Right.
Who else you had? Dante Jones.
Dante Jones.
Yeah, man.
Ron
His
Slade.
basketball camp.
Yeah.
Right, Ron Slade. All that.
That's like,
You know what I'm saying? So it was Charles Hathaway. Like it was a different time.
Yeah.
And we were still family organized when it came to these sports things.
Right.
So again, my eyes wide open there, seeing all this stuff, and I think that. But the complete change came when I left for college, and that was in 2007. To me, Nashville still was that.
Yeah.
But when I came back after only 2 years, I did JUCO on the JUCO for 2 years. When I came back, it was a different city. I'm like,
Just in
what's going
2
on?
years
In
for
2
you.
years.
Yeah.
It was just a different way. I said, man, what's going on? I started seeing how real estate was just really climbing. When I transferred, it was 2009. The real estate boom happened 2010. So it was like it was building up. I'm like, okay. Then I'm seeing old buildings I grew up on getting demolished.
Yeah.
Jefferson Street wasn't. It had already had its renaissance anyway, but it still kind of had like a little. It still had clubs on Jefferson Street when I was early in college. John Henry's, I remember that was on there, and some other, all that. Like, but all that stuff gone now.
Yeah, I know about
Right. John, all that stuff kind of the tail end, and then boom, it just out of nowhere, it was no more.
Yeah.
I talked to my brother and my sister about, you know, even Metro Center had clubs. He had Club Malibu. Right then,
Yes,
all that
sir.
stuff
Club
gone.
Malibu, yeah.
They said Tupac used to be there all the time.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Mary J. Blige in their prime.
Wow.
He used to be right there in Metro Center, bro.
Wow.
Because
Yeah,
Nashville.
and Metro Center was banging back. They used to have what's the place
Town
where you
Square.
drink the little fruity drinks. I forgot the name of the spot, man. But you go there, them frozen drinks, and they used to have a little. It was like out there on the water, like. And that's where a lot of folks used to hang out there.
I can't think of the name.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of folks, if people come far and wide just to go to that spot,
Far and
man.
wide.
You right, Metro Center was
Metro
Center was the spot at one
Yeah,
time, man.
yeah.
You right,
Because you had that mall that was at Fountain
Yes,
Square.
Fountain Square. That's right. That's
but
right.
even Antioch. So we
Had a little movie theater out
had a
there.
movie theater,
Yep,
yep.
yep.
I think the problem with it would have happened was it was too early for Nashville to have that. It was an expensive type. It was like a Green Hills type of mall.
For
in
sure.
the
Yep,
center.
that's
Yeah,
true.
for sure.
And
Right,
Nashville
yeah.
wasn't ready. It was growing, but it wasn't ready yet. It can take it now. It'll love it now. But then, no, it wasn't. And but as we own that aspect, even in Antioch, Antioch was. How y'all look at Antioch now in your mind? And before I even say what I'm going to say, I see your head.
Let me go first. I
okay.
knew that when they put Tanger outlets
Yeah.
out there, smack dead right off Bell Road, that was a bad idea.
Okay.
Because the gentrification that has occurred in Nashville to where you got folks in the Shelby area, in the North Nashville area, in the West Nashville area, our culture, our people.
Right.
They went to Antioch.
Yeah, they pushed them there.
They went to
They
Antioch.
pushed them
You know,
there.
they pushed them there. Let me say that.
Right.
So with that being said, you know, some of our people, man, can be pirates, for lack of better words, and take some stuff that probably ain't theirs. So, with that being said, I call them the Bell Road Boosters. That's what I call them. Man, they put that mall out there, dude, and it's done been hit up at least 4 or 5 times.
I know.
At least, I done seen the videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, and not to put shame on Antioch, man, but Antioch now has become a little bit more culturally kind of introduced, if that makes sense.
Right.
I'll let you.
But I remember Antioch being the place where black people that had money lived.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you.
We got two totally different.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember when, because I went to TSU. When I was at TSU, people that came to TSU, if they lived in Antioch, you went to their house. They had money.
Wow.
Yeah, they had money.
I'm glad he segued into that. That's why I said the age difference. Of like I just love that I'm the age I am, because I remember like exactly what he said about. Man, even back when I was in high school, bro, if I met a chick who went to Antioch or Laverne, you probably lived out of the Antioch area, I think you rich.
Yeah, right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But now, Antioch is looked at like, oh, it's their ghetto. They got all the college students are at the apartments out there. They try to blame some of the stuff on the foreigners who's out there and all that, and that too. But when I was a kid, bro, Hickory Hollow was like Lennox Mall.
I remember it.
Like what's the one Cool Spring? It had that type of vibe.
It had that type of vibe.
Yeah.
When I got to TSU, I met some cats from Georgia who used to say they used to come to Hickory Hollow to shop.
Wow.
And they live in Atlanta. Because like that's how popping Hickory Hollow was.
Wow.
At one point.
Yeah.
But even by outside the mall part, like the first time I ever went to Antioch on my own through the city bus. At the time, it was still cool to ride a city bus, even in high school. That was a long, all-day drive, though. You got to go to the station, and especially my east. But we used to go out there, and like it was like a new world, bro. Like Hickory Hollow was like, the Antioch area was like a rich area to us, all the way up to like I got out of high school. But now I'm like, and then also I have lived in Antioch before too. Now since I've been grown, I don't live now. But I was like, yeah, it's completely different. But Antioch still got some pockets. Some rich, like K Ridge and all that. Still kind of rich.
Yes, absolutely.
What they call it, Bradyok.
Bradyok, yeah, I heard that. Bradyok, yeah, man. You done shed a lot of light, man, just on just the evolution. Of Nashville, man.
And see, that's the reason they put the mall out there. They want to bring that back.
They could have waited on that, though, man.
They want to bring it back.
I don't know if Antioch needed that right there and there, man.
I'm talking about they gonna make it work, though. UYC. They gonna make it work, man.
Right. I think they're gonna make it work. I think that it is a little soon. I hear you, but I think that they always 2 steps ahead of us. I think that there's some kind of big corporation that's gonna put some in that area that's doing that.
Vanderbilt is out there.
Vanderbilt's out
So
there.
Vanderbilt out there, you already know.
Mark my word, if you don't see a something like a Tesla or something put there, some kind of East headquarters, like just like how Oracle here in Nashville, the East Coast headquarters in Nashville.
Look, a lot of folks don't know about Oracle. Tell them about Oracle.
So Oracle's the third
big money, dude.
Right.
So Oracle's
the third largest tech company in the world.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yes. And they come to the Ville.
And they come to the Ville. Well, they already here. They built up there right there at Top Golf.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I remember Amazon is down there number 1 or 2. So we got the top 3 tech companies in the world in our city.
He right about that, man.
And that's in recent times. That's why the ghost look like how it looks.
Yeah.
It wasn't no ghost when I was growing up.
That's
yeah, for sure.
That was a dump yard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was down there. That was still edgy in my mind.
Exactly.
Even though you downtown. But it's changed.
Wow.
And that's actually what my studio is at. But it's completely changed, man.
Yeah.
So I like it, but then there is some pros and cons. I've seen some old Nashville traditions get killed. Like when I seen Cantrell's get sold.
Yeah, man.
I stopped eating barbecue and all that a while ago, but it's just seeing it, drive by and smell it. I'm like, damn, I remember that when I was a kid.
Hey, man. You're right. I remember I used to ride, when I was, again, TSU, I'd go to Cantrell's, man, just because you want something different. You don't want Mary's. You want something different. You want Cantrell's.
Want no Mary's or Sweats or Harper's and all that.
Exactly. I roll out there and get that Cantrell's, man.
When did knockout wings come in the picture, boy? Because when they closed their doors, I about cried. It took me a minute to really come to terms friends, the bread is gone, dog. Ain't nobody making bread like that no more.
That hurt
man.
me.
Dude, I was super hurt.
Yeah.
I was super hurt. I go just to get the bread. I don't need no wings today.
Yeah.
Just give me about 3
I'm
of them.
telling you, used to be
Little
funny.
fruit punch,
And when I go in there, you always gotta wait, but it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. You know what I'm
You didn't
saying?
care about none of that.
You're gonna see some things in there too.
Yeah, you definitely.
Right, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
But it was that. But it's funny you brought up about the wings, man. I just had this discussion. I don't know the podcast, but just with some mutual friends here. I'm ready to ask your dad this. He might can answer this. Since he brought up hot wings or buffalo wings, I was telling people, man, it wasn't no such thing as buffalo wings and hot wings until about like 2000. I want you to think about that. It wasn't no buffalo wing hot wings in the 90s.
You're right. I remember drumsticks used to be the thing.
Yeah.
I never, you're right. I don't really remember. I don't know when it came in,
It's
but
just-
it wasn't a thing
It wasn't a thing.
until just here recently.
Like 99.
Yeah.
Drumsticks was something, but it was without the sauce.
And the drumsticks was like small, you know, they have them smaller or even bigger. But
Right.
we didn't have the wings.
Right, and there wasn't no buffalo on it either.
There wasn't no buffalo on
It
it.
was
That's
just
right.
dry
That's true.
Okay.
chicken
That's
wings.
true.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's true.
Right.
I'm like, man. Then I said, let me dive a little deep into this rabbit hole. My dad, he's 73. I said, man, let me ask you this question. I said, when the first time you had pizza? It shocked me. He said, first time he ate pizza was in the 80s, like
Okay.
81.
Okay.
Now think about that. Look how long we think pizza been around. You would think pizza been around.
Yeah.
He said, no. He said, we in the South. That's an Italian, New York thing.
It
Right.
is.
We didn't know
Right.
pizza
It
until
is.
he said. I said, what? He said when the 80s came, Pizza Hut, all that shit is new down here.
Yeah.
And when Pizza Hut went in the King, it was like Pizza something. Pizza something was on West End. Pizza something. It was a restaurant.
Y'all get me.
Domino's wasn't around yet.
Yeah.
He said, of course,
Yeah.
Papa John wasn't.
Yeah.
He said that was a new thing.
Right.
I
Right.
said, wow. And I told him, I said, you got a point, because I remember the first time I ever had buffalo wings, or whatever you want to call them, chicken wings, was at Ponderosa. On
Right.
Trinity Lane.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
then they closed down. But yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first time ever. So
Wow.
it shows you how we take things for granted. We think things have been around for long, but really haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also shows really how
Yeah.
young we are.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, and like you said too, man, it shows you also how when this money start changing hand, man, they'll push some stuff out. If it ain't bringing in no bread, man,
Right.
they'll push that joker out, man, and
They
bring in
will.
some fresh meat. You know what I'm
real,
saying?
real quick.
And then when you talking about that Orca thing, it's funny because, of course, of my job again, I already knew what was going to happen to Jefferson Street 10 years before it happened. Because the
Okay.
people that I work with had already had the plans. And they were
Okay.
just trying to get somebody to come with the money to
Yeah.
fulfill the plan.
Yeah.
But they had the plan because the company I work with had to make a layout for the to construct what we do. So they had to make the layout. You know what I'm saying? But before they did all that, they had the blueprint. I'll never forget. I tell them all the time, I went to this meeting, man, and they was showing all the things that they were gonna get ready to do to Jefferson Street. And I'm thinking, man, they ain't gonna do all that. But I should have known who I was in the meeting with. I was the only one of
Right.
this in
Yeah.
there. So I should have known then they wasn't playing, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And man, just to show if they said it, about 10 years from now, they started doing little things. And I'm like, man, they gonna really do it. And next thing I know, apartments, knocking down them old duplexes, man, putting up condos and all this stuff type of
really.
thing, man.
Yeah.
Property over there, little bit of lot about bigger this room selling for $1 million, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
no,
Because I
really.
remember what's his name, Glanton.
Yeah,
Glanton
yeah,
was
yeah.
I was somewhere with
Yeah.
Glanton, man, and he was telling me how prosperous people were getting off little bit of lots, man, over there on
Yeah.
Jefferson Street. I'm like,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that's when he stayed where he at, you know.
Yeah.
I think I'm telling you, the Glanton moved. No, he didn't move. He just upgraded his building.
Right,
He didn't
right,
move though.
right.
But he said that's when he stayed because he didn't want to like leave the traditional part. He wanted something that people can still remember about Jefferson Street,
Yeah.
and that's Lavelle Glanton. He
Yeah,
always
yeah.
been there. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
No, that's real.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'm
but
glad you
Glanton,
brought it up.
Glanton, he was like, man, those people was getting rich over there. But check
Yeah.
this out. If they getting you rich, how much money they got though?
Yeah,
they don't mind throwing
Yeah,
you a
true
meal.
that, yeah.
Cause what I'm getting ready to put here,
Right.
it's gonna get that money back
Plus
and more.
some. Yeah.
You got to triple that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm glad he brought up Jefferson Street, man. I want to, quiz y'all on something. Why do y'all? This is something that I have a disagreement with people when it comes to this. Why do y'all think Jefferson Street died? I'm talking about the original Jefferson Street, like from the '60s. Why do y'all think it died? You always hear the interstate, but I want to hear what y'all think why it died.
That was my answer, to be honest. 'Cause I know
That-
they put
that-
the
and
interstate
that's one of the
through
things they
Jefferson
tell
Street
us.
to, like you said, to separate it. But
The interstate To me, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just sitting there thinking it's got to be something monetarily. It's got to be some money tied to it, man. Because at one point, Jefferson Street was a prosperous place where a lot of black people.
It's like Black Wall Street.
Yeah, it was the
Broadway.
So,
facts.
New York.
So to me, I don't know what the answer is, but it's got to be something to the fact. But they didn't want them to keep prospering, so they had to get rid of that because we was looking too good over there on that side of town.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
My issue, well, me being a history buff, what I've seen from it is the interstate had a part a little bit, but very. If you notice, look at this, the interstate takes the back end of Jefferson Street. It's a small part. That ain't hurting. You got to stick out the whole rest of the street.
That's true.
To me, and also speak to some of the elders who I respect, who are going to give me the real spiel, not just somebody who on some political thing. They say that it wasn't the interstate; it was malls and segregation ending. So you got to think about something. The first mall in the South was 100 Oaks Mall, 1968.
The first
mall in the South.
Wow.
Really?
You understand how that's why I hate how civil rights movements and all that don't ever try to really highlight Nashville. Like I feel like they always want to show Birmingham and Atlanta. If it wasn't for Nashville, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening here. That's right.
Think about it. What's the name? What's the Fist now?
That's right.
Wasn't that the walk with Martin King? What's his name?
That's right.
Bald head, I can't think. He just passed.
John
Lewis, yeah.
John Lewis, yeah. And look,
John
I also went to American Baptist College.
See?
That was big in the civil rights movement.
Very big.
Yeah, very big. Yes, sir.
So for some reason, they always try to just exclude us a little bit. They'll put members in there, but they don't. Anyway, so Jefferson Street, what killed it was the segregation ended. Us black folks also mentality. We want to live next to the white folks now. You know, so we already had our own stuff. But here's this new shiny thing. Well, we can go shop there now. They say, you know, they took the white only off down there. So we abandoned our own clothing stores, our own food stores that was on Jefferson Street, our own hotels that we had on Jefferson Street. The hotels that took. We abandoned that. Then just for the new shiny thing, and then again with the segregation, we started living amongst white folks in a sense, as in. Abandon our own neighborhoods. Like the old black Brentwood used to be, well, it's two black Brentwoods. You ever notice how them homes around TSU look so nice? That's where all the black lawyers and doctors live at. The other place where they used to live was on Kings Lane and Cherry Hills area.
Yeah, and they still nice. You know, they older structures, but they still nice. Big lots. You see them big lots. You don't see them big lots all over town like that, man. That's true.
But we started abandoning even those homes and started moving to Brentwood because we want to live next to them. Or whatever. So long story short, to me what killed Jefferson Street was our own behalf of trying to just fit in with them. And we allowed them just to live off the whole interstate thing, which interstate has a factor in other cities too. But me personally, when I look at the history of Jefferson Street now, it was anyone just the interstate. It's also us abandoning us.
Do you think, Rob, that's the reason why now it's kind of hard for small black businesses to really get off their feet?
Yes.
Because we still got our culture still not pouring back into our culture, so to speak.
So I got on a black-owned clothing line called Billionaire Black. My boy Kez, he's from the Congo, but he been in the United States for a while now. And good brother. And of course, I wear some designer stuff too, especially when I'm stepping out. But we have put designer things over our brand to say that it's just better.
We done said it 100 times.
Yeah, I mean,
we ain't got much time, but let me say this right quick. I told him just that this year. I said, man, I ain't buying no more Nikes. I ain't buying no more Adidas. I'm buying black on. And that's what I've been buying, man. Even our stuff. I'm buying my own stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I said, because I can't keep supporting somebody that's not supporting us. You know what I'm saying? So right now, if I go somewhere like to a strip mall or something, or to out, you know, like some gathering they having out a hat or something like that, man, I'm looking to get some merch from somebody, from some of us, man. That's what I'm looking for, man. So no, I feel you on that. And I was looking at the shirt when you came in, I was like, why don't you got that at, man? So
I'm gonna get Kills hook y'all up with some of the stuff too, man. I've been wearing them all day though, but he got Zed sweatpants, he got hoodies, all this stuff, man.
We got to get back into that, man.
Yeah, man.
That Black Wall Street,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Supporting each other, man.
Supporting each other.
Crazy thing about it, Black Wall Street, there's some ties with the Black Wall Street that having to Tulsa with Nashville.
Really?
I'm gonna give y'all some games. So, y'all not saying y'all didn't know this. I had just got invited to a Christmas ball this past Friday. A woman named LaDonna Boyd, y'all heard of her?
I done heard the board name.
So Boyd Publishing, you ever heard
Yes,
of
sir.
that? Made the
Boyd
Bibles and
Publishing.
all that
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
So
yes,
LaDonna, she's a little bit older than me, but she's the CEO of the company that her daddy gave it to her.
Wow.
But her family started Boyd Publishing, but they also started Citizen Bank in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
It's a Citizens Bank on
That's the same one. That's theirs too.
Wow.
When black folks got ran up out of Tulsa, 'cause they originally from Tulsa also. They just had some people who live. That's why they chose Nashville. When all this stuff happened, they ended up coming to Nashville and just re-cranking up the Citizen Bank situation, and that's why you see it right nationwide. But that's Nashville. So when you say Black Wall Street, it just transferred over here. You know what I mean?
Man, wow.
But yeah, I went to she had a Christmas ball for the Boyd. It was the Boyd Publishing collabing with this black woman and her husband who's starting this amusement park called I forgot the name of it. She's gonna kill me. But Garden something. And they had like a collab Christmas ball, and I went to it, and it was nice, beautiful seeing. The mayor was there. It was beautiful seeing those type of high-end blacks in there and dressing nice. But I had to bring it up because you brought up about the Black Wall Street. A lot of people know that they transferred here when they burnt down. Some of them went other places, but some of them came straight here.
Yeah,
And just started anew.
Man, and just to throw something back at you, we did an episode, man, where we talked about the entire process, man, of the 1929, 1931 Tulsa massacre, whole 9 yard, where we talked about the Greenwood district and how so many prominent black doctors and lawyers and business people were, flooding that street.
Yeah.
And just how that man changed the scope of it. Enjoying Rob, man, and his story right after this quick commercial break, man. We're gonna get right into it. This is the Black Man Vent 2 podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? What's up? Peace to the city and peace to the planet. You're listening to the baddest podcast in Nashville, the only podcast that gives you a radio show feeling with a podcast undertone. We are Black Men Vent 2, and we are proud to announce, as you can see, that we have brand ambassadors that are a part of our movement. Yes, guys, Black Men Vent 2 has 5 women and 5 men who have joined us and believe in us just as much as we believe in ourselves. Their job is to make sure that they carry the mission and carry the message of doing what we're trying to do in our city of Nashville, and that is make uncomfortable conversations comfortable, aiming to change the narrative of black men one episode at a time. We are super excited to introduce to you guys the brand ambassadors of Black Men Vent 2. Stay tuned going into the new year because we got big things planned with our new family. Thank you. Just like that, man. We back. New year, new episode, man. Super excited. 2024, man. We here, man. The baddest podcast in Nashville, the only podcast that gives you a radio show feeling with a podcast undertone, man. Y'all know how we rock. As we always say in the second half, if you just not joining us, something wrong with you, man. Rewind the tape, go back, man. We got my guy, Rob Savage. He is a wealth of
Come on,
knowledge,
man.
man.
Rewind it. You missed something.
You missed a lot,
Rewind it, man.
Need to know some history about our city. Go rewind that tape, man. But right now, man, our bread and butter for our podcast is the mental health stories of our guests. We went 135 plus weeks straight, and we've been this strong by having black men on our platform to share their story. With that being said, Rob, what would you like to vent about today on Black Men Vent 2?
I would like to vent about us men. I'm gonna speak on us black men being or feeling appreciated. On, society says that you should do things, which us men, we've been doing it so long. We do things not for the return, but there's nothing wrong with feeling like, okay, cool, man, I appreciate that you did this, or knowing the sacrifice they might have took that man to do to make sure things happen.
Yeah, man, so true.
I say that during the holiday times, man, because of a lot of sacrifice is happening when it comes to like financial things or just making things work, making things happen. Even in my own life, man. Like I told you already, when we also talked through text about, even picking up little side hustles to make things work, and not crying about it, just making it happen.
Yeah, man.
But when you do these sacrifices sometimes, and then the recognition, not necessarily recognition, but the understanding what might have took to get this to happen or whatever is not being reciprocated, it will make a guy go into a slump or make him feel a certain way. Because you're like, man, I'm doing this and that, and it seems like it ain't enough for you.
Yeah.
But then you look around, and you see other, say people that's in a relationship, say women who might not have a guy, a baby daddy, or what you want to call it, who's doing too much, and he ain't getting that stress on him. But the guy who is there, day one dad, he getting all the brunt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the ones who've been deadbeats, they getting a slap on the wrist. Yeah, they might be on child support, but he still ain't showing up. So it's like, so I think that needs to be spoken on a little bit. I can't blame a lot of things on our sisters because they do put up with a lot of stuff from us.
True.
A lot, but that doesn't mean that they can't have a knowing to know, okay, yes, to know how to differentiate, if I'm saying it right, the good guy and the bad guy, or the guy that's trying. Because if you, at the end of the day, I tell people, which I don't, I want to be married, but at the end of the day, if you're not married, he's not obligated, she's not obligated to do anything, even if they have a child. You know what I'm saying? Now, biblically, you're supposed to.
No, but you're right. Biblically, you're not responsible.
Right. Technically, you're right. You're biblically not
but
right.
But see, now you don't hear those things coming down my street. Because people want the blessings of God, but they don't want to be obedient to what he says do.
Correct.
So that's when people don't want to, they want you to act like a husband, but I'm not your husband.
Right.
But if I don't act like your husband, then you start snapping.
Then you start snapping.
You start going off and all that.
Right.
But I'm not your husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if we consummate and do it right, then there are some more responsibilities that go with it.
On me, and that's
but in our society, we expect you to be the husband, even though we don't have
the covering.
There you go, bam. Even though we don't have that. And why should they expect that? Why should they?
Well, I think society and I think just natural, women don't say this, but they're very territorial and ownership like we are.
Right.
They feel once they didn't give you that thing up, you mine. and we feel that same way too, but we still know, okay, it's a little some side thing, it's mine, but really I know it ain't mine.
Right.
Yeah.
But them, they feel, excuse the young lady in the room, but certainly, especially even if you ain't got no kids, if you hit them right, also they really feel like it's theirs. So
also true.
I in my life I've been through that too. Like, man, but I understand.
Yeah,
but that I think that we all need a reset. I fall short every day.
We all do. We all do.
And I'm big on a lot of people hit me up on counsel, and just on some the word, what I think of it. There's a pastor that I listen to on YouTube, he rest in peace, named Stephen Darby. You ever heard of him?
Dude! Hey man, look.
Hey.
I can't even, I don't want to mess us up. But there's some stuff out there about Darby that people say.
I don't know how he died. Still don't know.
See?
Leave it at that.
Hey man,
Okay.
Darby told the truth.
Okay.
Hey man, you want to hear the
Okay.
truth? I'm talking about. I ain't talking about like colored up on that. Just straight,
raw.
straight, no chasing.
Real raw.
Yeah, Darby. And here you go. You gotta be ready to listen to him, cause he ain't 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No, he about hour, 30 minutes. But he gonna grab you so cold.
Yeah.
You don't even know you been there hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
He
man.
eating with so much stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well,
dude, you the first dude outside the dude that introduced me to him
Right.
that I heard him mention his name, man.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
What grasped me about him, actually, I got put on him from the mother of my child's auntie had told me about it.
Oh, I been
While
bad,
ago.
man. Well,
And he
was.
bad. Oh, he was. But he's also a man's preacher.
Yes.
He might even cuss a little bit.
Hey man, he
But
he don't play, man.
he don't play.
He don't play.
He don't play, and he's a former street guy too. Which doesn't mean anything, but he got that element to him also that's relatable. But he done said some episodes. He didn't talk about some Nashville pastors. But I know that you know something. But and in number Louisville, he was in Louisville. But that's the one let me be real. That's the first pastor that let me start over. I've been on a spiritual journey for the last 5 years. I say I've always been to church. My whole life. My home church is Mount Airy in South Nashville.
Yeah,
Pastor
yeah.
Henry, rest in peace. He was my pastor. His son Lamont, he cool. Sister Henry. And then I just kind of after I got older, I kind of just started going to Mount Zion a little bit, started going to other places. But and I'm cool with Bishop Walker in certain avenues that I do. But Pastor Darby, he hit me. So I started listening to him about 3.5 years ago, and right before COVID, really, right before COVID, and he had the first two videos that I watched of him that got me stuck and made me better at trying to teach people, bring people back to God. And that's how I say. That's one thing I say in my prayer every night. Lord, please help me continue to bring people back to you. The first video I watched he had was called Negro Land. That got me because that video right there tells me who we are in a sense. Not all of us came from Africa. Some of us already here. We did originally, but I'm talking we was here before Christmas and everything.
Oh man, yeah.
But he brings up how he brings up about the slave coast, the Gold Coast, the Ivory Coast, and kind of ties in also with the why God sent Moses to get us out of Egypt. It's, that we traveled through the 49. He break it down. The second video they also just had me hook goes because of once me and the mother of my child had broke up, I got into the dating world and I ran into witches, and they real.
Yes.
And he got a video on there talking about witchcraft and all that, and he ain't holding back. He calling out people who celebrities who witches, people in your own church witches, and what you need to see. And when I watched that, I said, man, I might be involved in one right now.
Wait a minute. Was you like you were when you was full? You said your eyes was wide open.
Open up again. I said, something going on. And I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? and it caught me at a time while I was already getting spiritual. And because before I got into I was already on my black ride. I'm already black, and I ain't mixed, I'm just light skinned. But I was on my blackness. I took a trip to Egypt. I'll say the back. Just before I had got this tattoo. I got a tattoo of Pharaoh of King Tut on my back. I was on my black shit at the time. But then when I got spiritual, I took that trip out there, and I'm different, y'all. What I mean by I want y'all to go out there, and Jerusalem too. But I want y'all to go there, and I want y'all to see the hydrographs. I want you to see how they really look. Our books are not. They lying to us, man. They look like they got some of the dudes like they look like me. Some look like you.
Come on, man. Look, and I'm gonna tell you something
And
else.
our nose.
Look, there you go.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I heard Darby might have been the one I heard say this.
He went out there.
But he was talking about how they had scrubbed out some of the faces because they didn't want you to see that they look like us.
They look like us.
The ones who were building them pyramids, they look like us.
Yeah.
I'm talking about seriously,
And
look like
also-
you said, nose and all that.
And then,
Yeah.
not to go too deep in the rabbit hole, but them same ones are the ones who they brought over here to build the United States stuff. That's a whole other story. But Darby went over there. He seemed to seem, but also what I liked about Darby, he also keep it real about the Egyptian stuff. We don't need to get too caught up in that because they were bull crapping too.
Gotcha.
So that's why Moses was sent to get us out of there in the first place.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because we was,
Yeah.
even though yes, us black folks lean on the the black kings and queens thing, it's good motivation.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we was over there practicing witchcraft. We worshiped idols.
They was what you call
They
it?
was
They had
all types of stuff.
like we call politics. They had a lot of politics, man. They were doing a lot of dirt to promote their agenda.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are black folks.
Yeah, black folks. Right.
Before the Romans came, we was already doing some stuff.
Yeah.
We witchcraft. I mean, we were doing that. We were doing. We was idolizing stuff. We was a little bit of bestiality. That's why he put in the command, man shall not labor be. There's a reason for these things. Then the Romans came and did their dirt and then tried to cover stuff to have some knowledge for themselves. But the yeah, bro, like Darby, I said, man, this is the perfect time. So it happened.
Shout out to Stephen Darby Ministries, man, because their ministry is still going. And I think his brother, his wife, or somebody's on there now.
It is cool. I love it. It ain't the same.
No, and I say shout out because it's just hard to follow him, man. Hard to follow that dude, man.
But he got a lot of content.
Man, he got plenty of videos though. You want to hear some and see what I'm gonna tell you what I liked about him, what you just said. He preaches the gospel, but he breaks it down so cold, man, that he goes back into the historical part. So a lot of times we preach according to the text. But sometimes you don't have time to go into the historical context.
Yes.
He does. He
feel
goes deep off into the historical context.
I feel like some pastors preach happy. They want to preach you happy or try to keep the congregation.
Oh yeah.
But but he's not catering to anything. You know, he get hard on. But also even when I was in, one thing I did admire. One thing I admired about Pastor Henry when he was in the pulpit in my area. Even when it came down to LGBT things, he was like he was calling it out. Like he wasn't, he was like I feel like in recent years they kind of backed off. They didn't want them, they tied to just like they didn't want people to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But they was to the bone. And Darby, he gonna call out. He called them names in the church. I said,
man, he called them old school names. I don't even want to say it, but he called them old school names.
But he ain't just get on the LGBT. He get on the fornicators too. Yeah, he's talking about. He said that's why he's itching that.
Yeah.
No, but he broke it down. He ain't just talking about like no herpes. He talking about like just like he said certain things, certain sins you do make you itch, like make your body. He was cold.
Wow.
Yeah, you need to check him out, man.
Y'all got my brain moving, man.
Check him out, man. Stephen Darby, man.
Stephen Darby, man. You heard it here. Make sure y'all check him out.
Let me ask you this. So why are we on this? How you done all this historic, man? You make me feel good. I'm talking about because a young man like yourself is doing something that me and my son was on a podcast just recently, and a guy was asking me if there's something that I wish that I had done that I didn't do. And I told him, when I was raising my son, I was so busy working. You know how they do it. We so busy working, trying to make a life that it was, so I was trying to make sure that I introduced them to Christ. I wanted to make sure that I did that, and also I wanted to keep them understand their culture and all that. But I didn't dive off enough into the Black history aspect of it, and because a lot of stuff that we've been taught in public school, and I know. Right. A lot of that's lies. So a lot of that's lies, man. Yeah. So how do we get our people to do more what you're doing and what you've done and what I'm trying to do now, what I've been doing in the past, of just digging into your history, man, to find out what you're all about, find out about what your ancestors was all about instead of what they're telling us.
The best way to do it is us black men making sure we're making that union with our lady. So when we're speaking this to our kids, they ain't looking at us as a hypocrite. So if you out here got a whole bunch of babies all over the place, it's gonna be hard kind of teaching your sons, if you got several of them, the certain history, because like you got to tell your history and maybe the mother of that mother, because you don't know it. So it's always gonna have that one woman. But I would say what's helped me is. And people say, why aren't you a Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite? I said, well, my difference between them, and I love them. I've had my debates with them.
Yeah, they some strong brothers, man.
And they know their word.
They got some different stuff, but they strong brothers, man. It just interpretation on some of the stuff. For me.
Their word, they know their word.
They know their word, man. Yeah.
My only issue with them is they have to remember that God has a spiritual people and the physical people.
Thank you.
I think that
Thank you.
Us black folks are that physical people that he speak of in the book that he said he's gonna put back in the rightful place. It was supposed to be vacant, all that. I know he's talking about us because it's something in us as black men. We know we getting held back. We know we're powerful. But that doesn't mean it's gonna get you in heaven just because you can say he part of his bloodline.
Right.
He said he'll take a Jew or a Gentile he said I'll take a Gentile if you know who I am.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I've been reading that in Romans. That's Romans, man.
That's
They
real.
talk all about that, man.
And I think that's the only thing that the Israelites leave out. They have to understand, yeah, bro, we don't want to get too caught up in we are the Hebrews. Because if we get to doors and get the guy's step, he's going to say, okay, yeah, Hebrew, who am I? I don't know, you get away from me. So we have to make sure we embody him spiritually and the physical part.
Right.
And that's the only thing I did with them because they get stuck on the physical part of who we are, which we do need to know who we are so we don't want to do the same mistakes.
Yes.
But they just adamant on that, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta have the spiritual, because he said even if you're a Gentile, which is basically a Gentile is a white person, or whatever you want to call it, Asian, he said he'll still take them if they call me their Lord and Savior.
And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you what he said. It's in Romans chapter 11. Is it chapter 11? Yeah. What he talking about? No. Yeah, Romans 11. Where he's talking about grafting them into the tree. And he's talking about the Gentile. That's what we fall in. And he said when he graft you into the tree, you're gonna be just like the ones that were originally there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in other words, we got the same rights as anybody else had that was there before us. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, they don't consider that spiritual side because them brothers, man, they hit hard on that piece what you talking about, that physical part. Yeah, they hit hard.
And
on
we
that,
do
man.
need to know that.
Well, we need to know that.
But
that's right.
Because a lot of us don't know. That's why God said, he said, my people don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? We're that lost tribe. So and we are that lost tribe. But I'm gonna say this, and we on that subject, man. It's gonna be a doozy for y'all. When y'all hear God loves everybody, did you know they don't necessarily say that in the book? God also said he hates somebody. Did y'all believe that?
Oh yeah.
You know he said that? He said, Jacob who I love, Esau who I hate. Whenever I get into this conversation, a lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's said. What I'm saying is like he basically we get even on the regular Christian side, we get caught up on the love is love thing, and we forget the Old Testament part also. Even though that's New Testament what I just said about the Esau thing, but the Old Testament, he was a harsh God, jealous God. I think that our new churches have gotten so stuck on the New Testament. We preaching happy. Hey, it's just gonna be all right. Just
Yeah.
But we forgetting how he still is who he is.
And he's still gonna punish sin.
Yeah.
He's gonna punish sin. I don't care if you black, white, born in the 20s, the 30s, or now. He's still gonna punish sin. And because if he didn't punish sin, then he wouldn't be a just God.
Right.
And for him to be just, he's got to do it on both ends.
Yeah.
He got to love hard, and he got to punish hard.
Right.
That's what makes him a just God. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And the society we in is like, you can't judge. I even look at that even differently, man. I feel like when he said, nobody can judge, I think he's talking about outside of the body of Christ or the church or in the church house. I feel like if it's outside in the streets, I can't judge what's going on because I'm sitting in whatever I'm doing. But I think if it's in the church, you can judge that because especially if it's inside the house. If you are a womanizer pastor, and I call you out, I can judge that because you're the pastor.
Yeah. And you should get called out for that.
But if I'm
Because you're
outside
supposed to
of
be
it,
the leader. And I'm not saying you perfect, you're a man, but it's just some things you don't do. Because even what you talking about now in scripture, man, teachers and pastors are held to a higher level.
A higher level.
They held to a higher level.
Yeah.
That's the reason, if the truth be told, and I'm just sharing with you now, when I got called to that ministry, I didn't want it. Because I knew what it entailed.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right,
I knew that before I got into it.
Right.
And I ran as long as I could. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ran as long as I could and I got tired.
No,
Right,
that's
man.
real.
I gotta dive in, man, because as we, we're getting ready to wrap up a little bit. Y'all, as y'all can see, we done went on a tangent.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
y'all know how YouTube, y'all know how you rock, man. Black men get too, we talk about everything.
man. Yeah,
But
man.
I want to ask Rob this question, man, because me and you are brothers alike. When we both can say, man, that we've had our time with women, if you will, and we've had our ups and downs and whatnot, man. We ain't asked this question in a minute, so I want to ask: when was your first heartbreak? And how hard did it hit you? And what can you say from that moment made you who you are today? Every man done got that gut shot before. When was your first heartbreak?
Yes, Lord.
My first heartbreak
Yes, Lord.
was almost self-inflicted, honestly. Well, so it's going to be two stories in the same thing. So Nashville was different for me when it come to women. In middle school, elementary school, I was not what women wanted. You know, I'm light skinned, which you would think in some cities that's what women want.
Right.
Not necessarily not necessarily at that time.
At that time, right.
If I was a 70s baby, I might have been good because I mean the 80s right there. You got elder bars, it's different. But I'm an 80s baby. So when I come in, it's the 90s. You got Tupac.
You come in with NWA and all that.
Right, Morris Chestnut, Tyrese. So the women kind of drafted from liking light skin to dark skin.
For sure.
And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of people don't understand that's a transition. So so it was rough for
That
me.
man he know that man on everything.
Yeah, he do.
It was rough. So I didn't start getting play from women like that until the 2000s because you had, and I joke about this and I said this on my podcast. I said it wasn't until Pretty Ricky came out.
Pretty Ricky.
Come on, come on, dog. Look, come on.
Pretty Ricky.
That's the look. Another story. Another day.
That's his nickname.
Pretty Ricky, B2K, and B5, all them niggas.
Come on now.
And then Chris Brown a little bit later. That's what helped me get. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, they wasn't looking at me at all. Now, granted, I've always been an athlete.
That's funny.
And I'm a hood guy, but just wasn't in the gangs.
Yeah, facts.
So I'm fighting that battle. I had to fight my brothers all the time. I mean, not my brothers, but the guys in my neighborhood, because I'm light skinned, so they trying you on the court.
Absolutely. Yep.
So you got that part, but I get to high school, freshman year at White Creek. And I mean this, because it's going to follow up on the story about my heartbreak. My freshman year, not just my freshman year, but that, not just for me, but in 2003, that's my ninth grade year, Nashville Metro Schools was rough. You heard of Cone of Dope?
Yeah.
It went on Cone of Dope my freshman year. So if you was 19, your ass was at White Creek.
For sure, facts, right.
Maybe if you're 20.
Yeah.
Until you get tired of it.
Yeah.
Cone of Dope didn't happen until my 10th grade.
Yeah.
So my freshman year was a rough, bro. I'm talking, it was like lean on me.
Yeah.
So it was bad. White Creek had gangs. That's when gangs started really coming into Nashville.
Yeah.
And then like the year after, that's when the blood started coming. There wasn't no blood started coming. It was just Crips and G's. So that was just a different time. So I'm trying to find my place. I ain't muscular like that yet, but I'm starting to get this body. I got a mustache a little bit. And so anyway, so 10th grade come. Some of them old guys who was already taking all the women finally got out to school. So now I can make a name for myself. I'm excelling on the sports. I'm getting built. And I snuck off and got a tattoo. Got my last name on my back, Savage. Went to Tattoo Wayne. Everybody knew who Tattoo Wayne is.
Tattoo Wayne. Shout out Tattoo Wayne.
Man, we paid him in some X pills to get that.
Oh, man.
We had no money. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But crazy time. So,
Yeah.
so did that. And I started getting some looks from the chicks who I wanted.
Yeah.
And but before this situation happened, my heartbreak came from a chick who wasn't even my girl, man. This is going back to 2002, 2001. Whenever 2002, because I was in 7th grade, 9/11. So 2002, I was still going to this camp that, I'll take that back, I'm sorry, it wasn't 2002. It was 2001. It was 9/11, because Bush was still in office.
Okay.
And Bush had just cut off federal funding for a camp that was nationwide called NYSP. Y'all remember that? You remember that? NYSP used to be a camp that TSU and FIST would have, and other HBCUs would have around the country, where it's a summer camp for kids. You can go there and play sports, they can read, they gonna feed you, all that stuff.
Oh man, just like back in my town, they used to call it it was summer camp, but we used to call it sack lunch though.
Okay.
We called it sack lunch because you got a sack lunch when you win. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing.
Yeah,
sack lunch. At that time,
yeah.
that's when what's name started. It's funny because what's name was starting to. It was doing so good. That's when the Boys and Girls Club started getting bigger because Denzel was the main spokesperson. I remember that back then.
Wow.
But anyway, had that. And there was a young female there who was, actually I knew her because she went to middle school with me, but she was at the camp too. Her name was Latrice. And You can tell if I remember the name from there.
Look.
He sat up in the chest. I know.
He got him straight for that
He
one.
sat up straight for that part.
Man, she hurt me, man. It's gonna get grabbed when I grab it.
Yeah.
So like I said, I went to the 5th NYSP camp and made a lot of lifelong friends. And some of the counselors ended up being some of my not professors, but people in the student football aid at TSU. Shout out to Miss Bell. So anyway, we had lunch, and I had, again, cell phones not out. Cell phones is a luxury, so we still writing letters, bro.
Yeah, wow.
So it was Latrice was in one of the lunch tables, like 2 of them ahead of me, and one of the females who I think really had the lights for me, I gave her the letter to get to her. She gave it to her, and the girl said, "Who gave me this letter?" I think it was Savage. Want me to give it to you? She said, she looked at it, Savage. That's what I mean by it gets graphic. Not graphic, anyway. But also tell you what this girl might have been seeing in her own home. And granted, if it's 2001, I'm what, 12, 13 maybe? She looked at it, and then she looked at me. It was a salt shaker on the table. She said, "Oh, heck no. His thing might be pink. It probably look like this."
Wow.
A salt shaker.
Wow.
I mean, she said pink, white, whatever she said. Something like that.
Right.
I'm like,
right.
first of all, how you know things look like?
At that age.
Why you think mine look like that? And I'm like, but it hurt me. I got embarrassed. The whole camp heard this and seen it. I'm talking about, I'm like, it was like you see the movie Carrie? I felt like Carrie.
You on blast. Everybody eyes on you.
Wow.
I'm hurt.
Wow.
So, and I was a popular guy in that camp because of the sports part, but that still hurt me. So I'm like, what the? So everybody laughed, and I'm like, just got humiliated.
Yeah.
So that happened. Fast forward to 9th grade, I'm in school. I ended up seeing her because she ended up going to school with me.
Yeah.
But we didn't really talk like that at all, the whole 4 years. Let's fast. So that broke my heart in the sense as me trying to like, dang, I've got the confidence to say something to a female.
Yeah.
And it's scoring.
Right.
And it's scoring to the point where it wasn't until like 3 years after high school, I ended up going to the gas station, Exxon right there on Clarksville Highway. And I just got done getting my gas. At the time I had a F-150. I'm sorry, I had my bad to the back. I had the Nissan Titan when it was kind of new. I just got done playing sports. I had some money like that with that, and the car looking nice.
Yeah, no doubt.
And because I'm actually a Ford guy, but for the reason I had a Nissan Titan, and I look over, I'm like, damn, I seen this female, she was thick. I said, damn, what's that? I seen a little children, little car, the kids in the car, but I'm like, I ain't worried about that. I seen some, I'm like, damn. And I said, damn, that's Latrice. So I kind of like made myself be seen. I'm gonna call it like, and she said, Savage, that's you. I said, what's up? Oh, what's it? We ended up boom. She didn't think I'm finna bring up what I'm finna bring up. She just happy to see me. I can tell she had went through life didn't hit a little bit, even though she still looked good, but 2 kids already, we on 3 years out. I think she had, I ain't gonna think about it. She had just got recently divorced. I'm like, dang, you got divorced already? I'm 3 out of high school.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. So that's that. And we chopped it up a little bit. And after we, had our shits and giggles, I said, look, man, I gotta tell you something. She said, what's going on? I said, look, man, you said something to me. You ain't gonna probably remember, but it was years ago, but even at that point. And I told her about the story I just told her. She was like, what? I'm so sorry.
Look, I bet she even thought about it. I messed up.
I was childish.
And
I gotta make it up to you. So I'm like, look, man, you gotta do that, man. Look. That was back then. I just wanted to let you know that. I had to get it off my chest. I never get to see you again to say that. So she said, no. I gotta make it up to you. Give me your phone. And I'm like, I do want to hit you though. I got later. So I give my phone. She gets the number. We end up having some cool little conversations. To the point where we finna link up. I know I was about to hit. I don't know. I didn't tell me cocky, but I just knew at that time. This is how her demeanor. And get the number. And I ended up linking up with her. And we having our first encounter. And I had my redemption moment. And we can probably end it on that. So we doing our thing, and then, she's giving me oral. I pull my thing out. I said, is it pink? She said, no. Put it back in my mouth. And that was my redemption story.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It came all the way full circle.
Oh, man. Hey,
we end up
man.
still talking after that a little bit more, but
Wow.
she can. We end up still communicating even after that sexual encounter a couple more times, but she had some ex-husband issues. I didn't want to get involved. I was young. I don't know. You had that. And then, but I did have my redemption with her on that because,
Was she older than you?
No, same age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's one I was finna ask.
Yeah. But when you talking about the kids and all that, I just thought she might be a couple years older than you or something.
No, she just jumped out the porch early. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
That's all. She jumped out the porch early.
Missed a few steals.
Missed a few steals. Like, I didn't have my son until I was 28, actually. I got guys who got kids and finna go to college right now. So, you know, right there, I came out 07. So I'm like, wow. But, so I just let it go. But it's funny, I did bring up somebody older. I mean, I had an encounter with an older woman too when I was in high school. But that'd be a story for another one.
Yeah. Man, Rob Savage, man, dog. This been fun.
Yeah, man.
It's been informative,
information, man.
This has been a good one, man. We how we looking on the cutout time, right? We good. Okay.
Let's keep doing what we're doing.
Man, cool deal. We got one more closing question, man, that we asked, man. First off, bro, on a serious note, man, I enjoyed this.
Thank you, man.
I
Look, we done started 2024 with a bang, man.
For sure,
a bang with Savage.
For real, man.
I love it.
As we get ready to close up, man, our audience and our platform knows, man, that we ask every guest this final question, man. We put you in a scenario, bro. Well, it's a young man that has heard your story. You know what I'm saying, man? Heard how you've overcame and overcome. You started out talking about not being appreciated as a black man. You know what I'm saying? So he feels that way, but he still, man, is having he's having suicidal ideation. Am I saying it right? Suicidal ideation. So he's having suicidal thoughts. Thinking about jumping that bridge. Thinking about putting that needle in his arm. Gun right beside him. Whole 9 yards. Right. What is it, Rob, that you can let that young man know in 2 or 3 minutes, man, to try to influence, motivate, help him to understand, brother, I done been through this and that, and I'm still here, man, having my platform, doing what I'm doing in the city. If I can make it through what I went through, then, man, you can too. What is it, man, that you can tell that young brother that could be listening to your story, that needs your voice right now for them to keep living on?
I would tell him straight directly, looking at his eye. I would say, look, bro, God knew us before we was in the womb. So whatever you're going through, bro, he already knew there was gonna be. God put his toughest things on the strongest soldiers. It ain't no time to fold. I think in these situations with people who's even looking at the suicidal situation, they don't need no baby talking. You need to tell them straight up, like, hey man, nah, that's weak, bro. You got how your mom gonna feel, bro. You gotta look at them in the eye and tell them that. You can't just be like, man, look, because if you put too much self-pity and make them loop, they might go ahead and do it. When you start putting accountability, like, oh, you got your mom. What else your dad? Like,
accountability.
Your dad ain't gonna let you want your dad to cry? It's in the book, it said, honor thy mother, thy father, your days will show. You trying to really answer that, huh? So, I feel you have to be direct with them about what they're really, the situation, especially when you got kids or something like that, even if they don't. Why are you gonna do this, bro? And bring your whole family. Your mom will be tore up, your dad, your granny, your granddad, your brother, sister. Like, I feel like, I understand people go through a lot of things, but suicide is one of the biggest forms of selflessness, because you're doing it all about self. You're thinking about, man, what I'm going through. We're all going through something, and God put us through things to get better and get over that. But the consequence of suicide is hell. So I wouldn't have put up with that. Like, some people might not be, in depth in Christianity and understand that aspect, and think that God's gonna have some leniency in it. He ain't saying anything about that. He said, no, suicide, you kill yourself, that's hell.
Yeah, you can't. You shouldn't take your life. Yeah, you shouldn't take your life, man. And at the end of the day, what you just said is true though. Accountability is big. That's what you have to think about. Accountability. And you're right, the selfishness part, that is a selfish act. It's a selfish act, man, because it's always somebody out there that love you. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, man. Somebody love you, man. So it might be one person, but that one person love you. And if you do what you think about doing, that one person is gonna be hurt for a long, long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Wondering questions, like, that why? And then it's not like you can ask for repentance. You already done it. So no, that's that when it comes to the suicidal aspect. And I don't know if some of these counselors or these people who talk to people off a cliff, are they even saying that? I feel like they kind of kumbaya them, and all it does is just make them have more self-pity. For real, for real.
Yeah, creating more sessions for their
Right.
pockets.
Right.
Yeah. But I as we close, man, I agree with you. I think, ditto in the Pops, man, that you have to hold that person accountable to help them to realize, man, what you do in this moment could literally affect everybody that supported you up to this moment.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here to say, man, I done had my thoughts, my battles with that. You know what I'm saying? And it's to the point where it took my support system. I remember my mama, she texted me and was like, hey, if you don't come home, we gotta put out a bounty hunt on you. You know what I'm saying? Because I just had my moment when I've been missing for a couple of days, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that was the one thing that brought me back. Was thinking about what would be the aftermath if I wasn't here. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. So that's just something we always ask our guests, man, just to try to wrap up the show, man, but to continue to push mental health on our platform by way of our guests. Naturally, putting y'all in that scenario, man, because it is somebody that's listening to this. That's probably having them same thoughts. They probably needed exactly what you just said.
Oh, no,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And it's different scenarios and different situations, but I think in all of them, you just have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, understand, man, it's I don't care what your name is, who you are, somebody loves you. If nobody else, God loves you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
God loves you. So with that being said, I always think about how that's gonna pain them.
Yeah.
How that's gonna pain God. Because God, if you're God's creation, He don't want you doing stuff like that because you're part of His creation.
Yeah.
And especially if you're not saved, you definitely don't need to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Who you clinging to?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He needs you for the army. So
He needs you for the army, man.
So
We need
it's
you,
real.
man. Yeah, look, I like you with that. What you said. We need you,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
We need you,
Yes, it-
sister.
yes, it-
We need you.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we need
Man, it's been a good one, man.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
into the new year with a bang, man. Rob, let us do this, man. You have a podcast, a platform as well. Let us know where we can find your platform, man, and how anybody can keep in touch with you and contact you moving forward.
All right, man. The name of my podcast is Rob is Savage Podcast. It's a acronym to my full name, and I am savage, in life and things that I do. My social media on Instagram is I'm Rob D Savage. On Facebook it's just Robert Savage. On TikTok it's the same as my Instagram. I'm Rob the Savage. And yeah, man, I use my platform just for people to have a voice. I'm from here. I love my city. I love the South. But I've lived in other cities and in other regions, and it's nothing like the South. But I use my platform to really give people who don't have a voice. And I get the celebrity side and let people see how touchable these people are. Like my interview with Charleston White, I feel like that really opened people up about like what kind of guy he is. Like a lot of people get caught up in the antics. Then sometimes when people get on my page and see me interacting with Desi, a lot of people don't know I knew Desi from football.
Wow.
He was a football player first.
Wow.
And we just kind of connected on that, and he's been supporting me on a lot of things I'm doing. I will say this on air, it also helps out the platform. A lot of times people see me at award shows. That is a friendship between Kirk Franklin and Bobby Jones that I have. And that became because of the Woolworth situation I brought up to you earlier. I gave Bobby Jones a platform to continue his gospel show. And at the BET, had let him go. I didn't charge him and nothing like that. And he was grateful for that even after Woolworth had closed down because of COVID. And he was like, man, you're a young brother who needs to be seen, man. So he introduced me to Kirk Franklin and Phil Thornton, who's shout out to Phil, who's Kirk's manager, or was a former manager. They're still good friends. And anytime they had a award show, I was with them. And I worked their room. So that's why you see me
Networking, baby.
networking. You know what I'm saying? Most there. But I had to give a shout out to Sister Henry because she's if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even know who Bobby Jones. But because that's the mutual connection. I called her, told her because I just got the situation with Woolworth. I needed some kind of. We already had the R&B night, but we wanted something to get the elderly to feel comfortable to come back into Woolworth. Woolworth has a bad history in every city because the city ends, they got water hose down, and she got me in contact with him, and the rest was history.
Wow. Right.
Most definitely.
Man, hey, that's where I sat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love it,
Man.
man.
First episode was good, man.
Yeah.
Pops, what you got on?
All right, man. If you see what we doing there in 2024, this is the first one.
Yeah.
So what you think the rest of the year
Come
gonna
on,
be like?
man. Come on, man.
Y'all gotta bring me back too, man.
Yeah.
Got to, man. We definitely, we gotta find a unique way, man, to do some reruns.
Yeah. Because this certain one we do want to bring back. We don't want to discredit nobody.
No, right.
In my eye, every episode is the bomb.
No doubt. No doubt.
Every one of them been
No
good.
doubt. Y'all know how we rock, man. We keeping up the consistency, man. Don't look at your new week and not expect a new episode.
That's right.
From Black Man Vent 2, man.
That's
Let's
right.
get out of here, y'all. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. You can do what you can, and you can't with what you can't.
Nashville until next week is a wrap. Black man, don't get trapped.
Yeah.